The Toyota Racing Series heads to Manfield Autocourse at Fielding, with 5 drivers battling to take out the championship. Also up for grabs, though, the New Zealand Grand Prix, that along with Macau are the only non-Formula One GPs left in the world. 2013 champion Nick Cassidy returns to try and win his 3rd Grand Prix title.
I was never going to turn down the opportunity to come race the Grand Prix. It's got a special meaning to a lot of people in New Zealand, a lot of history, so it's a neat opportunity.
But he'll have to fight 22 drivers who've honed their skills in the past 4 weeks across New Zealand. 3 races left to run in the Toyota Racing Series. The 2014 will mark the 59th New Zealand Grand Prix, a race with a rich history. Since 1950, drivers from 9 countries have won the title. In 2014, a special celebration of the career of 2-times winner, Toyota ambassador Chris Amon. Amon travelled to Europe after a season in the 1962 Tasman Series.
We had the advantage in those days in that the Tasman Series as such, which was 4 races in New Zealand, 4 in Australia, we were getting Formula One drivers out here to do those races. And of course the advantage of that was with people like me that were starting out and really there to make up the numbers on the grid. But you had the chance, if you shone a bit, of being noticed. We went through a period really after my day where there was very little chance of any New Zealander getting into Formula One, and the TRS, the Toyota Series, has changed all that.
The 2014 Toyota Racing season started in Invercargill, with wins for Yegor Orodzev in Race 1 and 3, and Andrew Tang in Race 2. On to Timaru, and the weekend started with a big crash on Turn 1. Oh, big crash! And that's nasty for air. And Macaulay Jones had nowhere to go, the Aussie. Thrown across the track, and look, 4 cars involved, maybe more. But James Munro scored his first win. Jan Mardenborough taking his first single-seater win in Race 2, and Andrew Tang showing he would be a driver to be reckoned with another race win. The new track at Highlands Park is 4.1 kilometres long and provided close action. Estonia's Martin Rump would take his first win on a dry track, while Yegor Orodzev conquered in the wet in Race 2 to take his 3rd race win. But in Race 3, Rump would not start after he broke his engine, and Yegor would find the wall on the last lap. Jan Mardenborough took the win and looked like a strong championship contender. The New Zealand Motor Cup was up for grabs at Hampton Downs, and Mardenborough was on winning form in Race 1. Race 2, though, and Mardenborough lost places and championship points. Mardenborough in trouble. Round comes Leach. Rayo passes him as well. 3 cars past the championship leader, while Stein Chitors finally scored a win. In the feature race, though, Estonia's Martin Rump added his name to New Zealand's oldest motorsport trophy, the New Zealand Motor Cup. With 4 rounds gone, 5 drivers are still in with a chance to take the overall championship. Tang holds a 7-point lead from Mardenborough. Just 35 points, though, separate Orodzev, Leach and Rump. Rump also in the lead for the rookies. Let's look at the Manfield Autocourse as it hosts its 11th New Zealand Grand Prix. Across the start-finish, it's flat out in 6th up to 230 Ks before dropping down the gearbox to 2nd for Turn 1. Good overtaking on the inside. As you drift wide, it's important to get out smoothly. Then it's briefly back up to 5th gear before braking for splash. Crucial to brake in a straight line here and not miss the braking point as you go from 190 to 112 K for the left-right. The hairpin is 2nd gear, the slowest corner at just 76 kilometres, with a great opportunity to pass on the inside. The exit is important again, as it's another long straight next up to 5th gear again for the run to Higgins. Over 200 kilometres to the end of the straight before braking down to 3rd gear. And this is the best place to overtake on the track, and the exit is forgiving as it's steeply cambered. Back up to 6th gear on the back straight, reaching over 230 Ks on the run down to Pepsi. Brake and turn in early as the apex is late. Get back on the power early, letting the car drift wide. Smooth here will get you the best possible run down to the finish line. Rain on Saturday brought new drama for qualifying. All the drivers were quick to get on track and post times as insurance if the conditions worsened. On lap 3, Nick Cassidy showed he'd lost no speed in the off-season with a fastest time of 1 minute 10.012. A lap later, his teammate Andrew Tang closed with a 1 minute 10.7, but then Stein Schatorst, who'd been 5th fastest, went off track and out came the red. Giles Motorsport made tyre pressure and suspension changes to Jan Mardenborough's car. Cassidy lowered his time again, followed closely by Tang, and Ryan Tavita 3rd fastest as the rain increased. Another red flag meant there was just one flying lap at the restart, and while the leaders didn't change, Jan Mardenborough drove an outstanding lap to sneak into 3rd place on the grid. Q2 would decide the Grand Prix grid. All the teams made suspension and tyre pressure changes in the pits as the conditions cleared. Some even had slicks on standby, but it was wet on track as Tang this time took the early lead with a 1 minute 10.42. Ahead of teammate Cassidy, a 1 minute 10.49. James Monroe pitted to change tyre pressure. Then Mardenborough was in as well. Tang managed to lower his time by 0.1 before he ran low on fuel and pitted. Cassidy wowed them with a 1 minute 09.9. Tang held second, but again on the last lap, Jan Mardenborough put in the 3rd fastest lap to drop a much improved Ryan Tavita down to 4th spot.
Well, Nick, the first part of the mission achieved.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. You know, we've been second 3 years in a row on the grid for the Grand Prix, so to nail that pole is absolutely awesome. I can't thank Northland Toyota, Giltrap Group, Jones Way and BNT enough for making this weekend happen. I'm excited to be on this grid with a full field of international drivers. They've been on it for 4 weeks, but it's a nice feeling to come in and send it to pole.
I think pole was definitely possible in both qualifyings. Red flag stopped me in the first one, and in the second one there were some issues with the car. Hopefully we sorted out before race 1, and yeah.
Did 2 laps, got 2 laps in, and then jumped to 3rd on the last one. And then apparently coming across the line, it went red. Someone went off, and then came in and said, "Oh, you're P3," and then finished Q2, and I said, "No, we've been demoted to P7 because of the red flag," which is a bit of a kick in the teeth, really.
Well, you were certainly on it. You were right up there at the sort of right towards the sharp end of the times.
Yeah, I feel really comfortable in the wet, and yeah, I just maximized the grip of the tire and just drove, and it all worked out.
Coming up, we meet the GP contenders in the Neil Motorsport Kiwi Dream Team. And our first feature race of the weekend, the Dan Higgins Memorial. New team in the series, but Neil Motorsport have punched above their weight with their star driver Andrew Tang challenging for the 2014 title and the New Zealand Grand Prix.
The experience really helps me, you know, being comfortable in the car, spending a whole year racing, it definitely helps, and the team have done a great job, always giving me a really good car, so hopefully it continues all the way through.
James Monroe already has a race win in his rookie year. He has an outside chance of the Grand Prix win if he can get in a top 5 position on the grid.
So did you back yourself to be this far up in the points in your rookie season, or are you surprised?
I definitely wasn't expecting to be here. I mean, I think I've always been confident in myself to be able to get there at some stage, but I wasn't coming into the season really with any expectations, so I'm happy with where I'm sitting in the points, and hopefully I can maintain my position this weekend, and so yeah, I'm happy with how the season's gone.
Nick Cassidy has a wildcard entry to the Grand Prix. He may not have raced all season, but in his role as Tang's mentor, he certainly knows the competition.
I've done a lot of one-off weekends in the past year, so mentally I'm prepared for that, and I know that it's going to be a tough ask. These guys are very sharp, they're very good. But a positive for this weekend is I've got a lot of experience in Manfield and with these cars, so I've had a bit of time out, but I'm back and trying to refresh the memory bank, and the practice is about getting into a rhythm and building on the weekends, so staying on track always helps, and we'll build from there.
So the grid for race 1 sees Nick Cassidy returning in pole position alongside the man he's been mentoring, Andrew Tang, and the championship leader. Then it's Mardenborough, then Tavita starts well, Orodzev, then Damon Leach, Munro, Ferrer, Gustavo Lima, then Martin Rump down in 10th place, then Dennis Kornev, Amweg, Shatorst, Alif Hamdan, then it's Azakian, Macaulay Jones, then Kodrick, Alberico the American, Michael Scott the Kiwi, Matt Rayo from Great Britain, and then it's Hansen, Leach and Oon. Well, if ever there was a chance for Tang to take control of this championship, this is it. He has a clear road ahead of him, and Mardenborough, his closest rival, is at the back. Got to start well. Tavita is behind him, then Damon Leach, who's still in the offing, is on the 3rd row. Away they go, good start from Tang. Not a good start from Tavita. No, look at this, Leach is on the grass, trying to get past him, trying to see if he can capitalise on that mistake by Tavita, and it looks as though Leach will, goes into turn 1. They're side by side. Tang is already off. I love this circuit. It's perfect for that. And Tavita's trying to hang on. And Leach hanging on in there, but has to give up, and Tavita does go into 2nd place, or does he? Leach comes alongside him again as they go down through the gearbox into 2nd gear through the hairpin. Good start from Ferrer, but it's Tang pulling away at the front already in the opening stages. Mardenborough's made up a couple of places already. We'll keep an eye on him. Leach and Tavita, and Leach has got past him. And Ferrer looking up there, but that's a good start from the Italian. Amweg up there as well. Shatorst in the midfield. And a good, clean start. No Nick Cassidy and Mardenborough having to do it all the way from the back. Reverse grid for race 2. There's Rump also coming through. Munro, the number 40, goes past Amweg. Through comes the leader, Andrew Tang of Singapore. What a dramatic 5 weeks this has been for the young Singaporean. Didn't expect to be here this weekend. Supposed to be joining the army. Well, he's marching on to a championship right now. So too, though, Mardenborough. He's carving his way through the field. This is Macaulay Jones he's up against now. He's got to be careful, but he's being carefree as well. Look at this. Matt Rayo is his next victim. Out of 1. Down the back straight, through the gearbox again. Still a lot of traffic for Mardenborough. This is not going to be easy for the young Brit from Cardiff, but he's been brilliant. Lock up from Lima there in the number 5. He's got Shatorst all over the back of him. Stein Shatorst, who's come to form, having had a disaster in Highlands for sure. And he's had to come from a long way back, and he's sailing his way through. Gustavo Lima, textbook overtake by the Dutchman at the final turn. Won this race last year, of course. McGregor-sponsored man. And now past Lima, his next victim is Levin Amweg as they head down to turn 1 again. Amweg just locking up there as they turn in, and that's just going to play into the hands of the Dutchman. Back with the leader, Andrew Tang. 3 wins to his name, but so too does Mardenborough. But it's Tang who holds the advantage, back with Mardenborough now. And you can see how much work and traffic he's got to get through. But the good thing about this man, Jan Mardenborough, he's cool, calm and collected throughout most of the season so far. He's never really got too uptight and upset about his position on track, whether it's going right or not. And he's got to stay calm now because there's a lot of traffic if he's going to stay in contention, but a lot of racing still to come. 2 more point-scoring races after this, but this one is the one that matters. And now Gustavo Lima, the Brazilian in Mardenborough's sights. He's passed the Brazilian, and now it's the Russian up next, the number 16, Mateusz Isakian. And Mardenborough is really, really pushing hard. This is his whole championship right here. Into the S's he goes. And he's very close now. Michael Scott also pushing hard on Martin Kodrick by the looks of things. And a lock up there. Kodrick going onto the grass there. I think he was just a little bit unsettled by having Scott behind him. That lost him time. Alberico goes through. And here's Ferrer now with Shatorst. Shatorst going on the inside and past the Italian easily. So Stein Shatorst, the 19-year-old Dutchman, makes up another place as they go onto the main straight. Back with the leader, and he is flying. Worried about the heat of the engine like everybody else at the start with so many restarts, but he's setting lap records at the moment. He's just gone under Bamba's 2008 lap record, 103.5, and on the very next lap, gone even quicker, 103.4. Meanwhile, look at this. Ferrer and 56, Amweg, side by side with Mardenborough behind. And this could end in tears. Ferrer will try and hold on. Mardenborough trying to get the jump on both of them. He goes to the inside. Ferrer loses out. Amweg's got the better line, and Mardenborough goes with him. Mardenborough will need to get past Amweg, the Swiss, as soon as he can. Down towards the final turn. Mardenborough really fighting his car to get the best out of it as they come onto the main straight again. Mardenborough doing a sterling job of getting through the field now, but he needs to with Tang leading and setting lap after lap of lap record pace. Meanwhile, Rump and Munro, they've been battling all year long, the two rookies, 117 from Estonia, and of course the Kiwi. Just 16 years of age, the 2013 Formula 4 champion has been, without a doubt, a sensation, but Rump this time has the better of him. Oh, they touch, and that's those two coming together. Rump's got away with it, but Munro certainly hasn't. And I don't think Munro had anything to do with that. Rump just nerfed him out the way, and that's a real shame as Mardenborough crosses the line again. Meanwhile, back with Tang. Andrew Tang of Singapore on his own right now. And he really did have an easy way to start. He wanted to battle with Nick Cassidy, I'm sure, but Cassidy overheating, and that would have been in the mind, I'm sure, of Andrew Tang and the Neil Motorsport team. But he's managed to battle on, and he's even been putting in lap record after lap record. This has been another sublime performance by the man from Singapore. Well, the Army will have to wait. This man is proving to be a very, very versatile racing driver. Came here as a rookie last year. Mardenborough's going to make up another place, is he, before the end of this race? Tang takes the checkered flag. Mardenborough's going to try and get past Amweg, and he'll finish in the top 6, and that may be good enough when the marbles are drawn for race 2 to give him a good front row start, but he's not going to get past Amweg, I don't think. It's a good drive by the Swiss, and a fantastic drive from Jan Mardenborough of Great Britain, who takes 6th place overall in race 1, the Dang Higgins Trophy. Well done once again to that man, Andrew Tang, who wins again here in New Zealand. Confirmation then, Tang with the win, Damon Leach with 2nd place, Ryan Tavita gets on the podium again, then Steinscher-Torst all the way through to 4th, Amweg, Mardenborough, Ferrer, Lima, Jones, Hansen, Oon, Michael Scott, and then Kodrick, who went wide earlier on, Alberico, Leach, Brendan, that is, Isakian, Munro, Rao, and Rump. And a little further down, Corniff, Orodsev, and Cassidy of DNF.
Race 13, unlucky for some. It certainly wasn't for you. You just took off there.
Oh yeah, the car was really, really good. It was unbelievable. The team has done a great job all season, and I'm really happy with the win.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate for a couple of the other guys with a few problems at the start of the race there, which was quite strange really. I've never had something like that before, but no, it was good. We got a good start and got past Ryan, and by that stage Andrew got a bit of a breakaway, and there was not too much of a chance I would have been able to sort of keep up with him. So it was good to not be nice and conservative and get a second. Was really good.
Well, Ryan, another good one for you. It's all coming right at the end.
Yeah, it was a good day. Unfortunately, I didn't get the best start, but no, really good result, really good recovery from yesterday after we had the incident. So a huge thanks to my team for getting the car back together overnight. This wouldn't have been possible without them, so I'm glad I can give them a podium.
Coming up, 3 more drivers who think they will be Grand Prix contenders, and the championship battle narrows with just 2 races to run in 2014. The 2013 rookie Jan Mardenborough has raced at Le Mans, and it was this season in New Zealand that gave him his first international race win. Now, can he go one further and claim a Grand Prix title?
You're tied with Damon Leach for 2nd in the championship now. You've got to start thinking about Sunday. It's the big day. A lot of work to do tomorrow for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm treating obviously the Grand Prix is very special, but it's the same points as race 2, so as all the other races. So I'm just trying to get as many points as I can. To me, race 3 is just a longer race, same points. So I'm just going to try and get as many points as I can in both races.
Martin Rump won the New Zealand Motor Cup and looks set to be the 2014 top rookie. Can he become a Grand Prix winner?
Yeah, it's still very tight between the contenders.
Yeah, sure. The races will be really interesting, definitely, because everybody drives basically the same lap time, and yeah, in a row it will be interesting.
Damon Leach is named after a Formula One world champion. This has been his best season in TRS, but a Grand Prix win would certainly be the ultimate for this proud Kiwi.
You know, the Grand Prix will be pretty interesting. Unfortunately, I've got to start off 8th on the grid just because we had a bit of a problem in qualifying. But it'll be, you know, I'll be charging through the field and hopefully capitalising on other people's mistakes. It should be a good race.
So Jan Mardenborough in pole position after that 6th place in race 1. Amweg alongside him, then Chatorst and Tavita. Damon Leach is in 5th position ahead of the championship leader Tang. Then it's Ferrer, Lima, Macaulay Jones the Australian and Robin Hansen in 10th. A little further down, Jordan Oon, Scott, Codric, Alberico, then Brendan Leach, James Monroe, Martin Rump, Korneff and Orodzev and Azakin, the 2 Russians, way down in 19th and 20th. And then right at the very back, it's Rayau, Aleph Handem, and at the back, Nick Cassidy. Massive race for Jan Mardenborough as he starts from pole, 37 points adrift of Tang's lead with 2 races to go. Amweg starts alongside. Chatorst will be the spoiler, he's behind, and likewise Tavita. Strong breeze for the start of race 2. Chris Amon Trophy. Not a great start from Mardenborough. Amweg is off, and so too Tavita. Chatorst has got away well too. On board with Lima. The traffic he's got in front of him. Hansen's got away well. Everybody dives into the first corner. So Mardenborough's going to have to recover. But everybody safely through. There's Rump at the back with Aleph Hamdan. And in the midfield, there's Damon Leach pushing hard already on Stein Chatorst. Go on board now with Damon Leach. And through the gearbox into 2nd gear. Nicely done by the Kiwi from Invercargill. And look at this. Chatorst not giving an inch, and they're side by side as they head down towards Higgins for the first time. Rump goes off, recovers it. Leach holds on to go round the outside at Higgins. Now he turns to the inside. Good driving from the Kiwi. Boy, has he come on this year. Look at, he's on the grass again. Chatorst will not give him an inch. Great driving by both of them. They're side by side going towards Castrol now. Through the gearbox, 6th gear, down to 4th here, and Leach has got the line, has he? No, Chatorst says no, I'll turn the inside line. And they cross the line again side by side. What a start to race 2 for these 2. And finally, Chatorst wins out the battle, does he? Yes, just. And there's a host of others all behind waiting to get their chance to go past as well. Whoa, and as I say that, Orodzev goes off heavily. Here's what happened. Ooh, and he just hit the back of Alberico, and I think Alberico braked just before that. That's caused the red flag, in fact. Yeah, Alberico braked, and Orodzev had nowhere to go, and that's brought everything to a standstill, and we'll do a restart as it stands. Yep, Orodzev car in a dangerous position. Here we go then for the restart. And Mardenborough's got to do it all again. He's in 3rd position after that poor start. He'll need this restart to be effective for him. Amweg leads. Tavita is in 2nd place. Stein Chatorst is just behind in 4th, but he's already challenging Mardenborough. Leach is there as well. On board with Tavita as he challenges for the lead. Amweg's on the inside. Tavita's going to try and go long and high and wide on the outside, but the advantage at the moment with Amweg, you can just see his front wheel as Matt Rayo goes off. At the back, Rump goes through, but Rayo okay. Who's going to take the lead? There's Leach. And Amweg's in trouble. Amweg's gone too far on the right-hand side and is, whoa, bouncing over the curbs. And he tried to get back on track, but he was just too bumpy, and he's destroyed the car, or the bottom of it, and the front wing. And, well, here's what happened. You see, look, they were side by side. This is the right-hander, but the next is a left-hander, and he's just too far over, and he runs out of road. Has to take to the grass. And he thought he could get round, kept his foot in, good job. But look what happens here. Bang! Just too much. He wouldn't have known that, having not gone over that part of the ground before. Meanwhile, Andrew Tang on Leach, risking everything. And Robin Hansen just behind as well. This is a good run by the Swede, starting to show some good form late here in the series. So Amweg out from the lead, and that plays into the hands of Tavita and Mardenborough, more importantly. Likewise, Leach has got some work to do. Damon Leach best of third overall in the championship. This is fourth season. The Kiwi, Macaulay Jones and Gustavo Lima side by side down the straight. Here's number 40. It's the rookie sensation, James Monroe, going around the outside of Ferrer. And can't quite pull it off. And Matteo Ferrer is giving as good as he gets at the moment. And again, they're going for that same part where Amweg lost out. And this time, Ferrer is smarter and holds off because you can't get through there. He had to settle back to stay on track, and he's done just that. Good driving by Ferrer, and through goes Monroe. Battle for second, third and fourth. Chatours has got second place, and Mardenborough all over the back of him, and Leach just there as well. This is the Chris Amon Trophy, and Mardenborough really pushing hard on Chatours now. Chris Amon had a big part in the design here at this Manfield circuit, and it shows. It's a real racer's circuit, this. It's thrown up some of the best racing of the year as we go on board with Leach. Mardenborough taking a slightly tighter line than Chatours as he got the drive. This is the important corner. Exiting the last corner, up through the gearbox, up to fifth gear now. Over 200k and then down to the first corner. And Leach and Mardenborough trying to have a go at Chatours. Can't quite get through at this point, but now he'll go and build up through the gearbox. Back up to fifth gear, flat out through here. And then down a gear through the very tight left-hander that leads on to the hairpin before they hit the back straight. Very tight indeed. Any mistake could be crucial now for the overall outcome of the championship. And Mardenborough doing everything in his power to get past Chatours, and Leach just waiting for his moment as well. And the safety car is out again. And this time it's Brendan Leach at the last corner. Here's what happened. He was battling with number 17, that's Jordan Oon. Just ran out of road, didn't he? Yeah, it's too high there, gets on the marbles, and he's got nowhere to go and slams it into the tyre wall. And that is a dangerous place, and so sure enough. Now, Nick Cassidy back out and effectively using race 2 as a test. In fact, he was actually the fastest man on track a moment ago. Whoa, there's the restart! What is Tang thinking? That was Andrew Tang, I'm sure of it, at the restart on the grass. Chatours jinks to the outside of Ryan Tavita. And look at these two. Chatours does muscle his way. Well, that was Dutch courage, and Tavita had nowhere to go. Brilliant restart by the Dutchman. He now leads. Mardenborough still third. Here's what happened to Andrew Tang. Look, yeah, Hansen didn't start as quickly as he expected, and he had to take to the grass. That could have ended the championship for Andrew Tang. A big, big moment for him. Meanwhile, Chatours leads race 2. Tavita still second. Lima's in the mix. Monroe just behind him. Frantic restart. Crucial restart. Luckily, the contenders still in control, but Tang doing what he needs to do. Mardenborough, likewise, just to keep it alive for the final Grand Prix. It's exactly how we want it. Cassidy now on track, but really using this as a testing session, as we said, keeping out of the way. Mardenborough doing completely the opposite. He's all over the back of Ryan Tavita, hounding him, hassling him, pushing the American from Connecticut all the way. Looks to the outside, he's got good drive. This is where Mardenborough's strong. And look at him, right alongside Tavita. Can he go around the outside at turn 1? We've seen it happen before, and sure enough, Mardenborough's going to push Tavita. No! Tavita goes off, and they touched, and Tavita's come off worse, and he is absolutely furious, and well, he might be. Here's another look at it. From Tavita's point of view, he turned in, and suspension going. Well, he'll blame Mardenborough. Mardenborough somehow has got away with it, but that was risky business. But the Welshman marches on as the man from the States, takes it out on the tyre wall. You can understand his frustration. Back then with Leach, still chasing Mardenborough. It's spread it out just slightly. Everybody filing through. Closing stages here. Mardenborough pushing on. Leach, though, waiting for his chance. He's just staying in touch, is Damien Leach. But there's the red flag. And that could end it, with Chatours taking the victory. And they sure enough come to. Tavita walks away in disgust, his car causing the red flag. But that's how it's going to end. And Chatours will win from Mardenborough and Leach. Fastest lap, 104.151 from Nick Cassidy, just preparing himself for the Grand Prix. But it's big news for Mardenborough, who narrows the gap between himself and Tang for the final Grand Prix. Stein Chatours, though, with the win. ahead of Mardenborough and Leach. Then Macaulay Jones, his best result for Australia, ahead of Munro. Tang in 6th place, ahead of Oon, Scott, Rump, Ferrer, Alberico and Codric. Then it's Isakian, Corniff, Hamden, Lima, Hansen, Cassidy finishing way down, but it doesn't matter. Rayo, Tavita not finishing, obviously. Likewise, Leach, Amweg and Odense.
Well, Stein, a very confusing race there. 2 stoppages, much confusion.
Yeah, like you say, 2 stoppages, 2 safety cars. To be honest, I don't even know where I finished. I should be P1, but because of the red flag, they might put the results of the lap before, 2 laps before, I don't quite know, so a bit of confusion, like you say.
A couple of very good restarts for you, though.
Yeah, both of them were good, weren't they? Yeah.
My start wasn't great again, but then 3rd position, and the first restart was it was a bit of a nightmare really. Yeah, I felt like I did a good recovery. There were some areas where I need to work on, but yeah, I'm best of a bad situation, I think.
I think going into the race, Jan and I were tied for 2nd overall in the championship. You know, it was a pretty hectic race. There's a lot going on, and I started off grid 5 and didn't get the best of starts, but just slowly sort of picked my way through with other people sort of having a good battle out there. So it was really good to get into 3rd and that right near the end there.
Coming up, it's the 59th running of the New Zealand Grand Prix. Can Nick Cassidy go for 3 in a row? And who will be the new 2014 Toyota Racing Series champion? So then, Andrew Tang lines up alongside his mentor and the current champion, Nick Cassidy. Mardenborough with it all to do. The spoiler that is Chateau's, the worried look of the champion. What a graduation day this has been. Some great races throughout 5 weeks. But now it's the final Grand Prix. Will Mardenborough do something special? Will Nick Cassidy defend that title? Martin Rump will be a factor, as too will the championship leader, Andrew Tang. So the grid for the Grand Prix sees the champion, Nick Cassidy, in pole position. Alongside him is the man who wants to be the next champion, Andrew Tang. And then it's Mardenborough who's trying to stop all that from the 2nd row. Tavita alongside him. Then Munro. Ferrer starts well on the 3rd row. Then Rump, Leach, Jones, Codric. Chateau starts all the way down in the 6th row with Orentsef. Then it's Scott, Amweg, Lima, Corniff, Hamden, Rayo, Hansen, Isakian, Alberico, Oon, and Brendan Leach right at the back. It looks as though Hansen won't start. He's pulled off into the pit lane. Here we go then, the 2 Neil boys side by side for the start of the Grand Prix. Cassidy looking for 3 in a row. Tang looking for the championship. Away we go. Good start from Tang, and he's side by side with Nick Cassidy, but he's got to be careful here going into turn 1. They are very close indeed. I hope there's some trust there because they're almost touching. And Tang looking for the lead, but he's risking everything. And Cassidy's going wheel to wheel with him, and he does get through eventually. Finally sees some sense, and Cassidy takes the lead ahead of Tang. Tang said he wanted to fight with Cassidy, and that's just what he's doing. He's got to be careful, and already up the inside again. Tang will not give in. Everybody cleanly through, but it is Cassidy who leads the Grand Prix. Tavita's there. Mardenborough's challenging him already, and those two have already come together as we go on board with Tavita. He won't want to see the side of Mardenborough, he does, who goes into 3rd place. Mardenborough takes 3rd ahead of Tavita. Pulls out of it this time. He doesn't want the same trouble as race 2, and he's also lost out, by the looks of things, to James Munro, who goes through. So Tavita lost 2 places there in the opening gamut. And Munro is through. Ferrer losing out to Leach. Leach going on the inside. Rump's going to try and go with him as they come on to the start-finish again. Look at this. 3 abreast across the line. Incredible stuff. Leach, Ferrer, and on the outside, Martin Rump. Now on the inside. Leach will try and beat both of them into the turn. And he does. Into turn 1 goes Leach. That was brave driving by the Kiwi. Race 3 well and truly underway. And just what we hope. Cassidy at the front. Leach battling away with Rump and Ferrer in the midfield. And Mardenborough in the mix. And still hopeful of taking the win. Points-wise, there's just enough, but Mardenborough needs to beat Tang and have some space and some points between him and Tang, but Tang just needs to follow him home and and the championship is his. Having said that, it's a long way to go. There is Tang and Mardenborough right behind him, so Mardenborough has to get in front of Andrew Tang, and off goes Tavita again. Oh, if it wasn't for bad luck, he wouldn't have any. And Ryan Tavita goes off, and I think this time on his own. Let's have a look. Yep. Just as soon as he got onto the rumble strips, he just lost the grip. And the number 4 out again for the second time this weekend. Here's what it looked like from Damon Leach. He just went a little too high and wide. It's dirty out there anyway, and out comes the safety car, no surprise. Another important restart again here in the Grand Prix, and away goes Nick Cassidy, and look at the pressure he's under from his teammate Andrew Tang. Mardenborough's in there as well. Boy, this is close, and Tang comes alongside Cassidy as he did at the start of the race, risking everything again. But Tang just doesn't care. Oh, and another drama at the back, and that's Oretsev going on. 4 cars involved in that one. And how many will get going? Well, Oretsev, it looks as though he's got damage to his car. Amweg was involved, the Swiss driver. As we go on board with Denis Kornev, fellow Russian, and I think they came together, the 2 Russians, and they did. Oh, and that spun Oretsev round. Amweg was involved, and Kornev gets away with it. Here's what happened to Oretsev. And he bounces into the back of Chatorst, who's got away with it. Let's hope there's no damage to Chatorst. Matt Rao also going wide. So the restart again causing more drama here in the Grand Prix. 2014. Normal service resumed at the front. Nick Cassidy trying to equal Craig Baird's record of 3 in a row. Hasn't raced all year, done a few tests. It's going to be a test of his fitness as Mardenborough now all over the back of Leach. Damon Leach defending that position. These two have battled all season long since they were at Leach's home of Invercargill. Last year, Mardenborough, the top rookie, now going for the championship. Had some bad luck as Jan Mardenborough, had some good luck too. But Tang has been Mr. Consistent, and he continues to be so here in the final throes of the 2014 season. On board with the number 14 Macaulay Jones, chasing down early championship leader Martin Rump. The Estonian looked as though he would be one of the favourites to win overall, but his campaign faltered as well, and it's faltering here in the final race as he goes wide. He's got Chatorst in front of him. Macaulay Jones has got in front of both of them, and Ferrer's now in the mix. Really impressed with Matteo Ferrer. Started off much maligned, a lot of crashing, but his racecraft in the last few races has been excellent. Peter Collins obviously doing his job as we go back on board with Mardenborough. Oh, nice move on Leach, and again, textbook stuff by a man from Cardiff. No hesitation there, and that's how you do it out of Higgins. Mardenborough makes up that place then, and he's just got to get ahead of Tang, but Leach isn't done yet. As they come down, 4th gear through here, it's still over 140k as they exit turn 8. Onto the main straight, up through the gearbox again. 226, the fastest they go here. As they cross the line, there's Rump. So it's a fast-flying circuit, this. And Stein Chatorst really enjoys it. I think this is Stein's favourite circuit, and he's proved it last year and this year. This tricky S where they go through at just over 100k. You can easily get it wrong, as Amweg did in race 2, and head to the grass. Now Ferrer, all over the back of Rump. These two going at it for sure. In fact, if anything, being held up, I think, Rump by Macaulay Jones. Oh, and there's damage to Rump's car. Look, that wing flapping in the wind. And surely he can't be that effective now, but he's already got right up to the back, and he's going to go past Macaulay Jones despite that broken wing. Excellent driving by the Estonian. And he has got past Macaulay Jones, so, well, doesn't seem to be affecting him too much, and he's made up a place, but they may bring him in to get that fixed. Continues to flap, and they have, yes. So in comes Rump. That's pretty much going to put paid to his Grand Prix hopes, but he has been a great campaigner, a winner, of course, at Hampton Downs and the famous New Zealand Motor Cup. Sten Pentus, his mentor, won as well. Very impressed with the Estonian Martin Rump, out of the Grand Prix here at Manfield. Safety car again. This time, Alif Hamden bringing it out and stuck in the gravel at the final turn. Sure enough, you have to have the safety car there. The restart then, Nick Cassidy has to do it all again. Mardenborough and Tang. And look at this, Leach on the grass again, right by Mardenborough. That was very close indeed. It could have ended in tears. Monroe bolted in and he just gets nudged from behind as Chatorce goes around the outside. Close, intense start. But away they go. Scott right at the back of this one. And Mardenborough under pressure, having to fend off Matteo Ferrer in third position and chasing down Andrew Tang in second. He's got through on Ferrer. These are nail-biting moments for the championship. It's all on the line here. And Mardenborough has to get past Andrew Tang if he's going to have any chance of beating him. But that's still not going to be enough. And he does! Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, again, Mardenborough does it as he's done all weekend long at turn 8. The last turn just made it stick. And through goes Mardenborough into second place. And now he's got Nick Cassidy in front of him. And look at Tang trying to come back at him. And they've got to be careful here. Andrew Tang risking everything if he wants to get into a dogfight with Mardenborough. Leach coming alongside his fellow Kiwi, number 40. They are side by side as they cross the line. Who's going to give? Monroe's ahead. But the 16-year-old has learned a lot this season. And now Leach knows he's got a match on his hands. Look at this, side by side. Once again, Monroe will not give in. And I think he's going to hold him. But Leach has got the experience, and Leach just holds on for the last moment to go into the left-hander. Good driving by Damon Leach. Oh, Isakian's out. And out of the car already. Could that bring out the safety again? They cross the line. This is the Grand Prix for 2014. The field spreading out, and the championship far from decided as Leach, having done everything right, gets it wrong at turn 1. And what happened here? Down through the gearbox, and yeah, I think that was a locked gearbox there by the looks of things, because he just turned in and there was nothing. I think he just locked up on him. Sure enough, the safety car is out again. Well, what a dramatic Grand Prix this has been. And here we go for the restart again. Cassidy, Mardenborough, Tang. As we go on board with Andrew Tang through turn 1. Back through the gearbox. That's the distance between himself and Mardenborough. Into the right-hander here. Oh, and that was a moment and a half for Andrew Tang. Boy, that could have gone so easily wrong. And that's the edge he's on at the moment, Andrew Tang. Just going on board at the right time. That was a big moment. His heart will be beating for sure. And now Mardenborough all over the back of Cassidy. Cassidy has been superb, leading from flag to flag, not put a foot wrong, and has hardly driven a car in a year, Nick Cassidy. And now he's got the honed Jan Mardenborough, but it just shows you how well Cassidy is going. And the list of greats: Mitch Evans, Richie Stanaway, Nick Cassidy, Brendan Hartley, they've all done so well. Earl Bamber was here earlier in the year, and Kiwi Motorsport alive and kicking, and again here in the Grand Prix. Kiwis are flying the flag high with Nick Cassidy, but Tang marching on towards the championship now. He made a slight mistake there, but he's gathered it all together, and it's all up to the 23 here in second place. He's doing everything in his power. He's hardly put a foot wrong as Jan Mardenborough, but it might be too little too late, because Tang is just too consistent. It's somewhat a poetic end for Andrew Neil for sure, coming into the championship, bringing both James Monroe, who's without doubt one of the most improved drivers, and then getting the mentorship of this man, Nick Cassidy, to help out Andrew Tang. Tang went to Europe with Andrew Neil, and they worked together, and it's been a fantastic combination. And now it's going to end in a fairy tale story, surely, for the team. Ferrer will fight off Macaulay Jones in the closing stages. Here comes Macaulay Jones, looking for a way up the inside of Ferrer. Ferrer going slightly wide, Macaulay following him through. Nothing between these two. They're fighting just as hard to finish their Grand Prix on a high. And Amway just behind them. Macaulay Jones up the inside of Ferrer. Whoa, and then he turned on him. I think he got some oversteer and turned and took both of them out. Oh, what a shame. Well, Ferrer, no problems for him. Here's what happened. Macaulay Jones turns in tight and then just gets a little bit of oversteer and then literally turns into Ferrer. And, well, racing incident, but both of them are out of the Grand Prix. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3, Cassidy, Mardenborough and Tang is actually closing now in the closing stages on Jan Mardenborough. Wouldn't it be nice if he could get a Neil 1-2, but he doesn't need to try too hard, that's for sure. Back on board with the third place man. What a story it's been for Andrew Tang. was going to be drafted into the Singaporean army. Not going to take part in the Grand Prix, so he was just making up the numbers as Mardenborough locks up again.
Jan has to win the race to take the title.
The problem we have is Nick isn't scoring points. He's up for the Grand Prix title, of course, but he's not scoring points anyway. So as it stands, we'd still finish second behind Andrew.
Right. So, but it's really tight.
Yeah, there's only a couple of points in it. If Andrew finished in third place, one car between us and Jan, then it'd swing the other way.
Wow, what a way to finish the 2014 season. And it's going to be a fairy tale story for Andrew Neil as Nick Cassidy marches ever closer to his third win in a row here at the New Zealand Grand Prix. Anxious moments for the Tangs. The parents have been here for the last 2 years watching Andrew develop. He came here as a rookie, eyes wide open last year, but he's come here as an accomplished driver this year and has not looked back. He's going to follow Nick Cassidy, his teammate, home, and it won't matter. Mardenborough will push all the way, but he's not going to do it because Andrew Tang so far has shown no signs of letting up. He's going to finish in third, but he's going to win the championship, and Nick Cassidy is going to march on. Surely somebody should give Nick Cassidy a chance now to go all the way internationally as Cassidy wins the New Zealand Grand Prix for the third time in a row and equals Craig Baird's record. Andrew Neil celebrates on the pit wall, tears in his eyes, and well, there might be. Andrew Tang is the new champion of New Zealand and the Toyota Racing Series and the first single-seater champion from Singapore.
Andy Neil, the dream team. What a result.
Unbelievable, but you know, all the guys have done fantastic, and we just got on a roll. It's probably never see it again. I love it.
Confirmation then, the results of the Grand Prix. Nick Cassidy wins ahead of Mardenborough and Andrew Tang. Chatorst in fourth place, James Munro in fifth, then Levin Amweg, then it's Corney, Kodrick, Lima, Rayo, Leach and Michael Scott. Martin Rudd finishes 13th, then it's Neil Albarico of the States, Ferrer, Jones and Leach DNF. Likewise, Isaki and Hamden Oom, Tavita and Onitzev DNS for Robin Hansen.
It's awesome feeling. We've been fast all weekend. It's been a pleasure to be back in the series. I didn't think it would be quite this smooth. Yesterday didn't go to plan, but this was our focus, and it was mega.
And a tough race too. Three, maybe four restarts.
Yeah, 4 restarts. I'd never done that type of restart before, so I didn't really. Okay, I knew the procedure. I kept the procedure, but I wasn't flash. I wasn't confident. I had the guys first and second in the championship right up behind me the whole race. So if there was anyone to race the biggest race of the year against, it was those guys, and mega that we come up on top.
Confirmation just coming through, Andrew. You are definitely the TRS champion of 2014. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's such a great feeling, you know. The team has done a great job all series, and I'm just so happy. I'm glad my family is here, and yeah, the team has just done a great job.
Well, a tough race. Probably one of the best Grand Prix. 59th New Zealand Grand Prix. I'm going to say it's one of the best ever.
Yeah, it was pretty close. The safety car restarts were pretty tricky, especially after I lost my right mirror, sorry. After the first safety car restart because of some debris coming off Nick's car. And so I didn't defend from Jan because I didn't know where he was. So that was the only tricky bit. But after that, it was trying to stay with them and just come in with the points.
So, confirming, Andrew Tang is the 2014 New Zealand Toyota Racing Champion. Martin Rudd finished as the rookie champion. Damon Leach will be the Trans-Tasman champion. And Stephen Giles will take home his 5th team's title. Celebrations then for Cassidy and Tang, but also a new beginning for the Toyota Racing Series as we farewell to the FT40 chassis after 10 years. In its place, revealed for the first time at the 2014 prize giving, the all-new Tartus FT50. Watch out for the new car to make its track debut in the coming months. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or at toyotaracing.co.nz for previews of our exciting 11th season of the Toyota Racing Series.